Goes, welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. Now get ready for Let's Go. For the ride of your life, The Show with No Name time on Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name. Come on. Let's go. Welcome. It's time for another English extravaganza. This is The Show with No Name here on Vaughn Radio. Are you psyched? Are you pumped? Are you ready to rock and roll? Awesome. Let's do this like we never knew this. That's something from my childhood. Let's do this like we never knew this. Let's make every single second count as we play, we laugh, and learn together, all with some good vibes here on The Show with No Name. Thank you so much to all of you Show with No Namers for tuning in every day, day after day, week after week, year after year. You make the show. Oh yeah. Without you guys, it doesn't work. It's an interactive show. And whether you're tuned in live right now, hello to everybody who's with us live, or you're listening later on via podcast, participate. I've created all these different sections so that you can participate, in the words of Shakira, wherever, whenever. And when I say participate, I mean do all the exercises aloud. If I say, cuidado con esta palabra, vamos a pronunciar eso, that's your cue. Tu pie, right? It's a good word. That's my cue. That means me toca. All right, my amigos, it is time for another English extravaganza, and we're going to kick things off with a little listening exercise called the Say What Soundbite. Come on. Say what? Yes. It's the Say What soundbite, and let me tell you something. Today it's going to be quite challenging. Oh yeah. Today you're going to sweat. But as I say, the harder it is here, the easier it's going to be when you're out there in the real world trying to understand all the different accents, all the different dialects. I even have difficulty with some of them. Scottish, Australian. They're quite foreign to my American ear. I guess it would be like you guys in Spain, or maybe in Madrid, and then you go to a village in Cadiz or Almeria. It's quite different. I'll never forget my friend Simon. who studied Spanish literature, and he studied at Cambridge. And I'll never forget when I brought him down to Almeria for the first time. I'll never forget it. He had his cigarette hanging from his lip, and he said, and I quote, "Mate, Cambridge did not prepare me for this." It's true. So that's what we're doing here. We're working on comprehension, getting the gist, la idea principal, and also being able to pinpoint accents, different situations, and we work on summarizing. Also, a quick reminder, amigos, if you'd like to participate in our weekly speaking section, you can send me a 1-minute voice note. You can send that over to alonso@grupovon.com. Again, it's alonso@grupovon.com. And this week, we want to know what your most used emoji is. I can tell you mine. It's the devil horns, rock and roll. Yeah, because a lot of people do a thumbs up when they agree or when they like something. I give it the old rock and roll. I also use the 100 one a lot, like 100%. Totally. I totally agree with you. So again, tell us your favorite emoji. A nice shout out to Turani, who has already participated, and hopefully we'll get some more people participating throughout the week. Remember, you have until Thursday evening if you'd like to practice your speaking, and always remember, I will correct you. Or correct you or say, well, actually, it's better to say it like this. Be careful with the pronunciation here. And this way, we can continue to make progress. And really, I think that is the opportunity that most of my students lack, que carecen de, and that is speaking. A lot of you can listen all day if you want. Sure, you got Vaughn Radio 24 hours a day. You've got podcasts. You can listen. You can really work on your listening. But speaking, that's another story. Eso es harina de otro costal, as you say. That's another story. Usually we lack chances, oportunidades to speak. So I'm giving you one every single week. And not only to speak, but to get used to speaking. Because, I've had students ask me many times at the book fair or at a trivia night, Alberto, I really need to practice my speaking. What should I do? And my answer is always the same. Speak more. I mean, there's no other way. How do you practice, your golf swing? By practicing, going to the driving range and practicing, or mini golf and practicing until it becomes second nature. And that's what we're looking for here. So remember, aside from listening, at any point in the show where you hear something that stands out, que destaca, well, that's your cue. Otra vez vemos esa palabra. Your cue, te toca. And that is your opportunity to say it aloud, especially in our homophone section, or when I personally say, cuidado con la pronunciación aquí, that's your chance to say, okay, let me make sure I'm saying it right. All right, amigos. All right, so let's see. Today's, as I said, it's going to be maybe on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to say this one is about an 8, maybe even a 9. All right. But as always, do your best. If you do your best, that's all I can ask of you. Here's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
Do you believe in UFOs, astral projections, mental telepathy, ESP, clairvoyance, spirit photography, telekinetic movement, full trance mediums, the Loch Ness Monster, and the theory of Atlantis?
Hey, honey, do you know when the next Vaughn Radio Trivia Night is?
Yeah, Daddy. It's on Tuesday, November 4th at 8 p.m. And you're hosting.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You're so forgetful, Daddy. What will you do without me?
You're absolutely right, honey. I am a bit absent-minded. Thanks for your help.
Don't mention it. Just mark your calendar. Tuesday, November 4th at 8 p.m. We'll meet you at the Toast Tap Room.
Okay, so let me make sure I've got it. Tuesday, November 4th at 8 p.m. at the Toast Tap Room, Calle San Vicente Ferrer, 33.
Yeah, you got it, Daddy. Be there or be square, amigos.
Excellent.
That's right, folks. We will see you there. It's the monthly Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. And as you guys know, it's tons of fun. It's another opportunity for you to practice your speaking, your listening, and to mingle es mezclar, to mingle with native speakers, with other people who are learning like yourselves, people who are in the same boat. La expresión in the same boat is en la misma situación. All right, what did you think of today's Say What soundbite? Woo-hoo. Not an easy one, is it? But don't worry, as I said, the key always, not just here on the show, but the key in life is to do your best. And if you end the day, you lie down in your bed at night and you say, you know what? I did my best. Well, that's all you can do. All right, let's rock and roll into our next section. It's called the Pop Quiz. Come on. Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. That's right, folks. This is our pop quiz. And today we are taking a look at something from English Everywhere. Inglés en cualquier parte. This is the first book I ever wrote. And I remember writing it from my little apartment in Lavapiés. I used to live in Lavapiés, and I remember writing it there. I remember writing it in the French Alps. I remember writing it in Andorra because I needed to get it done. And it was awesome because actually, I've got to say something. It's pretty inspiring to be writing and looking at, these beautiful snow-capped mountains, as we say, snow-capped, right? Con capa de nieve. Hey, it sounds about the same there. So it's, I was inspired. Also, while I was writing the book, I was listening to the Les Miserables soundtrack, which, man, I don't know about you guys, but that is epic. And I'm not talking about the Spanish one. I'm talking about the original, obviously. Right now they have Les Mis. We call it Les Mis. They also have Wicked here in Madrid, but I can't bring myself to spend the money to go hear a different version of it. I'm not saying I'm not saying anything about the actors, the translators, or whoever else is involved, but I know that both of them. I know Wicked and I know Les Mis word for word. So going to see it in Spanish, let's put it this way. I did it with Lion King, and yeah, I wish I hadn't. Again, nothing against the actors most of them were very talented. Not all of them. Hey, again, you got to look at, what you're measuring it against. And I've been to Broadway, the West End, and it didn't measure up. No dio la talla. And then when you're like hearing the circle of life, but you're hearing it in Spanish, it just falls flat. I guess it would be like you watching, what is it called? Torrente in English. Would that really work? I mean, you could translate it word for word and find the little, the nuances, matices, but it just doesn't work. So I highly recommend, guys, if you're ever in London or New York, go see a show in English. It can be musical theater, it can be a straight play, but it'll definitely be an experience. As many of you know, we saw Wicked recently in London, and it was wicked. Wicked also means really cool in American slang. And now I know it's in Madrid. Has anybody seen it in Madrid? Maybe, maybe I got a bad taste in my mouth because of Lion King, but theater tickets aren't cheap. So, if you're going to see something that you kind of like, well, you're better off just taking a Ryanair flight to London for 50 euros. And for a little bit more, you can actually watch it in the original language that it was intended to be in. And I'll tell you this, how good was Wicked? My 6-year-old daughter sat still for 2.5 hours. Yeah, se quedó quieta. Remember, quiet and still. False friend there. Still, quieta, quiet, silenciosa. She was both. She was still and quiet. And her jaw was on the floor. That's right. Su mandíbula estaba. Wow. So, guys, this is what inspired this book. Some musical theater, some snow-capped mountains. But the original idea was, well, people need to know English in different situations. And while we're at it, ya que estamos, well, I'll also teach them some false friends, some common mistakes, some things that I've come across in my over 20 years of experience teaching people English. All right, so here's a little excerpt from my first baby. Oh, my first one, English everywhere, Inglés en cualquier parte. Now, remember this, you've got, I think 30 or 40, I can't even remember, 40 chapters, 40 different places / situations where we learn English. At the movies, at the pharmacy, at the theater, of course, in the car, we look at the body, in the garden, at the airport, at a wedding, at the hairdressers, at the gym, talking on the phone, and all that jazz. Y todo eso. All right, so let's listen to this little excerpt. And as always, I'll have a couple questions for you afterwards. This is English Everywhere. English everywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen, calling all sports buffs. Llamando a todos los amantes del deporte. A sports buff. Yeah. B-U-F-F. I am a sports buff, a sports nut, un loco para el deporte. Yeah, I love sports. And a lot of my friends say, Alberto, you're always talking about football and you love. Yeah. And they said, it's a distraction. I said, exactly. Lo dicen como si fuera algo malo. Digo, es que necesito algo para distraerme de la vida real. So a lot of people say, I don't understand it. I go, let me explain it this way. It's 90 minutes of the week where I don't think about myself and my problems. So for 90 minutes of the week, I think about, como este no empieza a meter goles. All of a sudden, somebody else's problems are more important than mine. I think it's a great activity. Y además, fútbol, por ejemplo. You can go to China. You can go to France. You can go anywhere in the world, and you can have a conversation if you know the word Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, you'll definitely get a reaction. So football, the universal sport, but there are so many different sports, and sports are not only, people like, I don't like sports. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but sports is the Olympics. This is a test of human strength. We're always pushing ourselves further, empujándonos más cada vez. And sports is a great way to show that and to learn discipline and how to be a team player. Teamwork, trabajo en equipo. So there are many, many good things. Aside from not only watching sports, but doing sports, you stay in shape, te mantienes en forma. So there are so many different reasons for us to be involved in sports. Digo que tienes que ver todos los partidos los fines de semana, pero
Entender el concepto. Good sportsmanship, el fair play. Como saber perder y saber ganar. Nobody likes a sore loser. Alguien que no sabe perder is a sore loser. All right, well, we've got a winner with us today. She is an awesome winner. In fact, she loves, well, I think you do sports. I know you
sports.
ski, you do tons of different sports. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Inez. What's up?
Hello.
How are you, Inez?
Great. Just came back from the gym, actually.
Okay, well, we're going to go. I'm going to take you to the gym in another chapter. ¿Te vienes conmigo al
Again?
gimnasio en otro capítulo?
Again, yeah, well, okay, today, twice a day.
You can do it. It is un monstruo. You are a monster.
course.
All right, so tell me, what are your favorite sports to do and your favorite sports to watch? Because eso a veces es diferente, lo que nos gusta ver, porque I like watching gymnastics, pero si me ves a mí hacer gimnástica, vamos a ver, las Olimpiadas es muy bonito, like how they do it, you know, y ves la fuerza que tiene esta gente, ¿no? So what are your favorite sports to watch first?
So what? I'm not a big sports watcher.
Okay.
No, I don't really like to watch sports, but sometimes I'm those ski jumps,
Sure.
huge jumps,
The
and
Winter Olympics?
yeah. Tennis sometimes because I really like how they're really it's really polite.
Yeah, they're very like, oh, excuse me. Y hasta se llama cero, love, amor.
Yeah.
30 love, 40 love. Como se dice, ¿no?
Exactly.
So you like watching tennis. Who's your favorite tennis player?
Nadal, of course.
I knew the answer. I was just asking anyway.
I'm in love with him.
You're in love with him. Oh, well, hopefully Rafa Nadal will listen to this because I put his name in the book. Así que le voy a dar una copia. A ver si,
Great.
si lo oye. Así que si quieres decirle algo, ahí tienes el momento. Hay una posibilidad que va a escuchar esto.
Well, Rafa Nadal, would you marry me?
Bueno, ahí te ha pedido la mano. Ahí. All right. Well, and Rafa Nadal, again, we were talking about, is not only an amazing tennis player, but he's an amazing person.
Exactly, that's why.
I mean, when you look at him, you look at, so many different lessons, perseverance. You look at teamwork, even cuando juega en equipo, porque muchas veces juega solo, pero también trabajo en equipo. And perseverance, como digo, persistence, being strong, and you learn all these different things from sports. Sports can teach us a lot. De hecho, hay miles de expresiones que tienen que ver con deporte.
Alberto, estoy leyendo un cómic y me estoy dando cuenta de que todas las onomatopeyas que salen son verbos en inglés.
Of course, man. We love making it easy.
Por ejemplo, aquí pone chomp y está un animal masticando.
Sure, to chomp.
Es mascar, ¿no?
Sí, mascar. Y lo haces con tus piños. Your chompers.
Ah, chompers es los piños grandotes, ¿no? Vale, y to click, por ejemplo.
To click. Well, to click is what you do on a computer. You click. Pinchar.
Perfecto, pinchas con el ratón. Claro, tiene sentido. To gulp.
Well, before I was gulping my soda. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Claro, estás tragando como un pato.
Eso es, no es lo mismo que sip. Zumber.
Bien. To thump.
Thump. Don't thump your fist on the table. No des un pum, pum en la mesa.
De hecho, el conejito de Bambi se llamaba Thumper.
Eso es, todo tiene sentido en inglés.
Claro que sí, por eso hemos hecho el tercer libro de This Book is the Milk, que se llama This Book is the Shit. Este libro es la leche. Por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender. Y lo sabes.
And you know it. That's right, folks. This book is the shit, available at Von Tienda. You can also pick it up at one of our offices or online. We've got offices in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and Zaragoza. But we're not looking at This Book is the Shit. Not today. We're taking a look at my first book, not my latest book. Y cuidado con esa palabra, because latest, lo último. My last book means I'm not going to write anymore, and I'm not sure yet about that. So it's better to say my latest book. So let's see if you guys know your sports. The first word I want you to give me, and I want you to give it to me in context here. And this is un amante, aficionado, entusiasta de. I said it at the beginning of the audio. Chris Valrol, I already know your answer. Movie queen. I mean, come on. So I know I've got your example in my head already. So un amante de algo, un entusiasta de algo. Give it to us in a full sentence. Give it to us in your own example. ¿De qué eres amante, entusiasta? The second one, I want to see if you know how to use empatar o empate. You can use either one, empatar o empate, el verbo o el sustantivo. And the last one, mal perdedor. All right, so 3 things that have to do with sports. The first one, again, is entusiasta, amante de algo. The second one is empate. And the third one is mal perdedor. Folks, we'll be right back with much more Show with No Name. So, stick around. Welcome back. Welcome back, folks. This is part 2 of today's Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. Hell yeah. English doesn't have to be a bore. We looked at that word yesterday, a bore. Un jabalí? Well, yeah, también. Pero esa se escribe B-O-A-R. And bore, aburrimiento, is B-O-R-E. But they are homophones on the Show with No Name. But it's not time for homophones, not yet. No, we've got to listen to our Say What soundbite here for the second time. We're also going to check your observations. Plus, we'll see how you did in today's pop quiz. We've got our news report, Name That Lyric, Double Trouble, Name That Movie, Famous Birthday, Spelling Bee, and so much more. And it's over in a flash. En un abrir y cerrar de ojos. In a flash. In the blink of an eye. In no time. ¿Quieres más formas de decir eso? Hey, pick the one that works for you and understand them all. That's what I tell you. When there are synonyms, well, it's good to be familiar with all of them, because I might say in the blink of an eye, but Rob Grams might say in no time. So just know that there are other ways to say it. But when it comes to you, say it, well, the one that makes the most sense to you. The one that's the easiest to remember. And speaking of Rob Grams, you can catch him every morning on the Pro Bow Show. What a great way to start your day. You've also got Richard Vaughn live. And right before our show every day, you can learn English with my friend Fitz in his program, No Excuses. So many programs here on Vaughn Radio. All right, folks, well, let's rock and roll here. I'm going to give you the Say What soundbite. Again, it's tricky today, un poco difícil, but do the best you can. And here it is for the second time.
Do you believe in UFOs, astral projections, mental telepathy, ESP, clairvoyance, spirit photography, telekinetic movement, full trance mediums, the Loch Ness Monster, and the theory of Atlantis?
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit.
That's right, folks. This book is the shit, available at Vaughn Tienda, along with English Everywhere, our translation books, phrasal verb books, Inglés desde cero, whatever your needs may be, we've got you covered. Now, if you're looking for self-study, that's the bookshop. If you're looking for courses and you need a little direction, well, we've got a little bit of everything. All you have to do is contact us, and you can do that via social media. Yeah, all you have to do is send us a direct message. Us, I mean Grupo Vaughan, not me, because I don't know. I can't give you all the information, but follow Grupo Vaughan and you can reach out to them, and I'm sure they can lead you in the right direction. And also remember, if you just want to get a level test, you can get a complimentary level test. Now, complimentary means free. That's a really good word to know. All right, let's take a look. Let's warm up with some vocabulary from sports. All right, now the word racket, that's easy, raqueta. But did you know it has a double meaning? All right, let me give it to you in context. It'll make it easier. Who's making all that racket? All that noise. So another way to say noise is racket. Also, a racket is an illegal business. So a lot of people go down, they get arrested in the mafia for racketeering. Okay. And a racket is exactly that. It's an organized illegal business. And the charge is racketeering. All right. Basketball, easy, right? But how would you say, vamos a echar una pachanga de baloncesto? Okay. That one's not as easy, is it? Let's shoot some hoops. To shoot some hoops. Okay. Saco de boxeo. A punching bag. We say una bolsa de dar puñetazos. Un saco de puñetazos. Same idea, right? A punching bag. And sometimes we use it figuratively. When somebody takes out their frustration on you, say, I'm not your punching bag, man. Go to the gym, get a therapist. I'm not your punching bag. All right. All right. What about arco y flecha? It's called archery. Okay. The sport is called archery. But what do we call the thing we use? A bow. ¿Te suena? Rainbow. Tiene el mismo, no? El arco tiene arco iris. So it does make sense. A bow and arrow. Very good. Bow and arrow. We say saeta o flecha would be arrow. All right. Bola blanca de billar. Ooh, we already know the 8-ball because there's an expression, behind the 8-ball. Oh, I'm in a predicament. I'm in a jam. I'm behind the 8-ball right now. All right. What do you think? Cue ball. That's right. Cue ball. And we looked at the word cue before. I said, that's my cue. That's my cue is me toca. No, pie, señal, mi entrada. En el teatro. We were talking about theater. It comes from the theater. When you hear him say, hi, welcome, that's your cue. All right. Te toca entrar. All right. Your cue. But we also call it a cue ball. Right? And that's C-U-E. Es un homófono para cue, cola, en inglés británico, que se escribe Q-E-U-E-U, Q-E-U. That's the only way I remember how to spell that. All right, dardos, easy. Darts, to play darts. What I've noticed is the more I drink, the better I am at darts. Is that just me? All right, palos de golf. Do we say golf sticks? No. Nope. We say golf clubs. Golf clubs. Patines. Patines are skates. Y los que son rollerblades, pero que si no queremos usar la marca rollerblade, que también se usa. Inline skates. Y los de hielo? Ice skates. Okay, so roller skates, ice skates, inline skates. And then you got a skateboard. I know you know that one, which, by the way, I'm teaching my daughter how to skateboard, and she's learning really quick. She's already got the whole balance thing down. And you know what that means? If she can stay on a skateboard, she can stay on top of a snowboard as well. All right, here's a very logical word in English. Traje de neopreno. Traje de neopreno. We call it a wetsuit, even though supposedly it keeps you dry. Right? A wet suit. Okay? Zapatillas de deporte, or as they call them in Almería, tenis. Me gustan tus tenis. In the US, we say sneakers. In Britain, they say trainers. You want to wear your trainers, or are you going to wear your sneakers? All right, a couple more here. How would we say, ¿cómo quedaron? ¿Cómo quedaron? ¿No viste el partido? Preguntas a alguien después, ¿cómo quedaron? It's small talk, ¿no? Esto a veces hablando de deporte o de cosas comunes. We call it small talk, the weather, right? These things that we all kind of have in common. What was the score? What was the score? Okay. To score is also marcar. So we call it the scoreboard. El marcador is the scoreboard. You score a goal, and we say, what's the score? So that's a pretty good word because it's very useful. All right, let's see. Este árbitro es parcial o sesgado. This referee is biased. Biased. Yes, se escribe biased. 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 He's biased. Okay. All right, folks. Oh, and one more thing I'll highlight because I didn't give it to you here. I was thinking about giving it to you. How would we say, para usar un ejemplo de verdad, el Real Madrid le ganó al Barça? True story. Would we say Real Madrid won Barça? No. You could say Real Madrid won against Barça, pero ves como it doesn't just roll off your tongue. So we would use beat, vencer. Cuando ponemos el que gana. So you would say, write this down. Real Madrid won. No ponemos adversario. Real Madrid beat Barça. Esto es cuando decimos contra quién. Para no tener que decir to win against, well, to beat. Es como decir vencer. All right? Okay, guys. Let's see. I've got a lot of students participating over here. Let's see who's with us. There's Elena in the house. And Elena says, morning, guys. Temperatures dropping here in the north of Spain. So we need to warm up before entering and playing the field. You sound great. And I love your sports comparison. Yeah, we've got to warm up all the time. It's important. Believe me, guys, as many of you know, I go to the gym first thing in the morning, and it was cold out. This was the first morning, because I go in shorts, voy en pantalón corto. You know, I kind of roll out of bed, make a coffee, and there I am at the gym first thing in the morning. And this morning was the first morning I said, whoa, it's chilly. There's a nip in the air. Son dos formas más de decir it's cold out. So it's chilly. There's a nip in the air. You can also say it's nippy. It's chilly. It's nippy. Did you know those? Some great synonyms for cold. Some totally native synonyms for cold. So welcome, Elena. Elena also says, picture Galician little Galician villages. Spanish here is a mishmash of Galician and Spanish if you're lucky. Yeah, one thing is learning the standard, British accent. And then another thing is hearing something from East London, mate. Right? That's nothing like what they taught you at Cambridge or wherever you learned English in grammar school. So yeah, not everybody speaks like they're, reading, the news report, like a news anchor. People speak the way they speak. And believe me, you've been down to the south of the United States. Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to tell you right now, nobody talks like this because everybody just can't. They talk a million miles a minute and they just cut off the ends of their words and shit. Y'all coming back? No, not there. So yeah, it happens. Not everybody is a great communicator. And that's par for the course. Hablando de expresiones que tienen que ver con el deporte de golf. It's par for the course. Es lo que tiene. Another way to say that, it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory. So great. Let's see. Elena on fire today. Elena says, it sounds like a young American woman asking listeners if they believe in telepathy, telekinesis, and all that jazz. Great summary. Perfect. I'll set the scene for you. She's conducting a job interview. Es una entrevista de trabajo. So she's talking to an interviewee, a potential candidate for a job. Okay? And she's asking that person if that person believes in all those different things. All right. Maybe that'll even give you an idea of what it is. So great job. Great ear, Elena. All right, there's Chris. Va al rol. Chris says, morning, folks. Oh, beautiful Galicia. It runs in my blood, along with Asturias. Yeah, two lovely, lovely places that I can't wait to return to. Let's see. Chris also has something to say about our Say What soundbite. She says, I heard an American gal. Me gusta ese gal. Guys and gals. I heard an American gal. It's short for girl. And she asks someone if they believe in poltergeists, UFOs, and all that jazz. Yeah, me encanta que los dos habéis dicho y todo eso. Excellent. Hey. Totally native for Elena and Chris for using all that jazz and all that jazz. There's Born to Iron Man checking in, fichando. He says, hiya, folks. Hello, Born to Iron Man. Great to have you with us, buddy. He says, and he's participating here in our pop quiz. He says, no doubt, I am a triathlon buff. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you run in the buff? Corres en pelotas? Yeah, if we say in the buff, that means, me encanta como lo tradujeron aquí, espera. Here they put in the buff, a ver. In the buff. En pelota picada. I never heard that before. Me encanta. So you're a triathlon buff who doesn't run in the buff. I hope not. It's going to be chilly. All right. Excellent. And then he says, Indurain and Merckx, I don't know how to pronounce his name, sorry, are tied in number one. Mejor tied for. They're tied for number one in the Tour de France titles. Great. Applying it to a real context. Excellent. Envelope or Even Poel, I don't know his name. Again, forgive me for not knowing anything about cycling. Envelope, we'll call him, gets angry every time he doesn't win. He seems to be a sore loser. Excellent. We say un perdedor dolido. Sore. Que también es la palabra que usamos para tener agujetas. Oh, I'm sore. I forgot to stretch. So excellent. Nobody likes a sore loser. All right. Wonderful job. Born to Iron Man. I loved your examples. Elena says, I'm a language geek. Excellent. It's another way of saying it. A language buff. Un friki. Just be careful. If you say somebody's a freak, es un bicho raro. Like, a freak is not somebody you want to hang out with. Right? A geek, yeah, a geek is just somebody who really likes a certain thing. I'm a de hecho, mi nombre, my other Instagram account is Spain Coaster Geek, que traducido es Friki de Montañas Rusas, España, right? Spain. So she says, I'm a language geek. We also say specifically for that one, I'm a word nerd. Yeah, una empollona de las palabras. And she says, I'm infatuated by them. Yo diría, I'm infatuated with them. De hecho, hasta lo he buscado, Elena, porque digo, a lo mejor se puede decir con by, pero me salía with de todos modos. But this is exactly why I want you guys to use full sentences, so we can tweak it, ajustar, hacer esos ajustes para rematar. So she says, I'm infatuated with them. The next one, she says, we didn't tie, I won. Great. And you're making such a big fuss about it because you're a sore loser. And excellent. To make a fuss. Montar un pollo, un escándalo. To make a fuss. And that word fussy, si cogemos esa palabra fuss y le añadimos una Y, fussy es tiquismiquis, right? Especialito. So excellent job to Born to Iron Man and Elena. Let's see, Chris, I knew your answer here. She says, I'm a movie buff. But you were talking about sports. She says, I'm a petanque geek. Ah, la petanca. Oh, yeah, that's fun. She says, then both teams played great. So they tied. Empataron. Excellent. They tied or they drew. Remember, guys, a tie or a draw. Y en ambos casos se puede usar el verbo. They tied. What was the score? ¿Cómo quedaron? They tied, they drew, or there was a tie, or there was a draw, si quieres usarlo como sustantivo, pero también funcionan como verbos, okay? And the last one, she says, that guy was mad after the match. He's a sore loser. Excellent job. Excellent job. Let's see. We have got German over here. And he says, morning show with no name buffs. Hey, great example. What's up, German? He says, let's buff our English up together, shall we? To buff también es pulir. I like it. But are we going to buff it up in the buff? I hope not. So, como hemos visto, in the buff, en pelota picada, as you say, a buff, lo que sea buff, a history buff, alguien que le encanta la historia, a movie buff, alguien que le encanta las películas, a sports buff, right? Eso ya, fill in the blank, depending on what you are. But also to buff is to polish something, right? Pulir. You polish it, you buff it. Great job, German. Always playing with words. You know what? You remind me of my daughter. Well, she's cuter, no offense. But she's always doing the same thing. I wonder where she got that from. I guess she's a chip off the old block. De tal palo, tal astilla. A chip off the old block. We can also say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Okay? Which is two different ways to say we are similar to our parents, our relatives, right? The people who came before us. Excellent, German. What a way to get things started with a double trouble. Let's see. Chris says, oh my God, Elena, we have telepathy. Well, then maybe you'll get hired in that job interview in today's Say What soundbite. Let's see. Jaime, what's up, Jaime? Good morning. He says, do you remember McEnroe? Oh, yeah, John McEnroe. Oh, he was funny. He would always complain. That's true. All the time. All the time. That was part of his persona. Yeah, we use the word persona, but it means más tu personaje al público, right? His persona. Elena says, great minds think alike, Chris. What a totally native we got there. ¿Cómo traduces eso? Great minds think alike. Vamos a ver. Ah, mira, aquí lo tenemos. Great minds, las grandes. Oh, you say the same thing. It's another way of saying we had the same idea, right? We said the same thing. We're on the same page. Eso lo hemos visto. Be careful, though. To be on the same page means we agree. To be in the same boat means we're in the same situation. Right? So they're similar, but a bit different there. All right. So awesome sauce, as we say in my neck of the woods. Yeah, awesome sauce. It's another way of saying la leche. All right, folks, we have got to go to a quick commercial break. We are halfway through the show, and we still have tons of stuff to cover here on the Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. When we come back, we'll take a look at our homophones. We've got our spelling bee, double trouble, name that movie, name that lyric, famous birthdays, and so much more. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the second half of today's show with No Name on Fawn Radio. Don't forget, after today's show, you can continue to learn English with my amigos. Up next, you've got Speaking with Confidence with Ale. Then you can learn English with Ruby. You've also got Rob Grams and the Lunchtime Show. Don't forget about Jules Linares in Let's Get Random. By the way, she did an awesome job hosting our last trivia night. And then we've got Dave Boys and the Salad, followed by Kyle Miller and Drive Time. And after that, you can make a cocktail with my buddy Chris Frank, in his program, Frankly Speaking. So many amazing shows here on Vaughn Radio. You can get them on the Vaughn Radio app, or you can also download your favorite programs on whatever podcast platform you use. And just a quick reminder, you've got an exclusive podcast with Richard Vaughn called Vaughan Inglés 4.0. If you're on iVox, search for that. And you can learn with my buddy, my mentor, Richard Vaughn. Also, remember, you've only got a couple days left. We've got some awesome deals, 60% off. So check it out. Again, the best way is to follow us on social media, and this way you never miss a beat. No te pierdes ni una. All right, folks, let's get into our first challenge of the second half of the show. It's homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
All right, my amigos, let's take a look at today's homophones or not. As always, I'm going to give you the two words here in Spanish, and I'll give you some synonyms in English, and then you tell me A, what the words are, and B, if they sound exactly the same or not. Now, the first word is a fruit seed, okay? Another way to say this is pit, like Brad Pitt, pero con una T. But this is another way to say it, okay? So it's pepita, you know little Peppa? Pepita o semilla, okay? Also, it's pitido o señal, okay? So it's pepita, pitido, señal. It is also ganar por un pelo. Oh, I haven't heard that one, though. Because I would say they won by the skin of their teeth, right? By the skin of your teeth is por los pelos. But supposedly, this also means ganar por un pelo. I've never heard it that way, but hey, according to word reference, it is another way to say it. So the first word is pepita, semilla. It's also a sound like a beep, beep, beep. Like a beep, pone aquí, o pitido, señal. Okay, and it's also ganar por un pelo. Okay, the second word is vistazo, miradita. So a quick, secretive look. Okay. It's also the sound a bird makes. So tweet or chirp. Well, this is another way of saying that. Okay. It's also un pío. So Príncipe Pío. Okay. All right. As a verb, it's mirar con disimulo o mirar rápidamente. Okay. All right, there you go. Those are your two words. Again, the first one is pepita, semilla, and it has many other meanings as we just looked at. And the second one is a quick look. It's also the verb to take a quick, kind of secretive look at something. All right, that is your homophone section. We'll take a look at your answers in just a minute. First, let me give you the Say What soundbite for the third time. Good luck, folks.
Do you believe in UFOs, astral projections, mental telepathy, ESP, clairvoyance, spirit photography, telekinetic movement, full trance mediums, the Loch Ness Monster, and the theory of Atlantis?
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughn Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughn Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughn Town. That's right, amigos. If you want a life-changing experience, it's not just going to change your English, but as I've heard from many students who have attended, it is just an eye-opening experience. It just, it opens up your mind to all different kinds of accents. It opens up your ear, obviously, as well. But also, what I've heard is it is such a unique, amazing experience. It's Vaughn Town, and it's something that was Richard Vaughn's brainchild. I love that word. A brainchild is another way of saying an idea. One of his brain children. I've never used it in plural. Brain children. Well, it sounds weird, but I guess so. All right, let's see. Chris Valrol, she says, guys, I can't think of better company to spend the morning with. Ditto. Idem? Is that how you say that? Ditto. I agree. Let's see. Born to Iron Man says, ha, what a guy. John McEnroe. You cannot be serious. That ball was on the line. Oh, yeah, that's his famous line. Let's see. Chris says his behavior was par for the course, as the expression says. Absolutely. All right, let's take a look. I've got a few people participating in our homophone section. The first person to participate is German, and he gives us the two words correctly, and he says they're not homophones. Elena agrees. Born to Iron Man agrees. And Chris Valrol agrees. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let's say both words. The first word, which is semilla, pepita, pitido, is pip. Okay, pip. P-I-P is pip. No es peep, because if you say peep, eso ya es la segunda palabra. So excellent job, guys. And if you know it, ladies, aren't there shoes called peep toe? Porque se asoma el dedo, right? It's called peep toe, if I'm not mistaken. Also, in Times Square back in the 80s, now it's all Disney and theaters and things, but back in the 80s, they had peep shows. And these were these shows where there were people either having sex or in the buff, en pelotas, and you would look through a little hole as if you were a voyeur, right? Looking in, peeping in. Okay. So we also say a peephole is at your door. When you look, somebody knocks on your door and you look through it, that's the peep hole. Now, as many of you know, we also say peeps as my people. You guys are my peeps, right? So let's rhyme some words with each one. Pip, dilo conmigo, así practicamos los sonidos estos esenciales. Pip rhymes with lip, labio. Pip rhymes with rip, romper, right? Pip rhymes with sip, sorber. Say them with me. No sip, no lip, sino lip. Sip, mojar o untar algo. To dip, right? Dar la vuelta. To flip, right? So if you can make that sound, then you can pronounce that right every time. And obviously, it is a sound that comes up quite often in English. And that second one, peep, rhymes with steep, con mucha inclinación. O steep también puede ser caro. All right. It also rhymes with reap, right? You reap what you sow. Recoges lo que siembras, you say. You reap what you sow. In fact, my daughter asked me that the other day. She goes, Papi, quiero ser la muerte, the personification of la muerte. Do you know what we call this one? The Grim Reaper. And if you know the song by Blue Oyster Cult, great song, don't fear the reaper, don't fear the reaper, don't fear the reaper, the Grim Reaper. So peep rhymes with reap, rhymes with steep, rhymes with deep. Excellent job to all my amigos. You didn't fall for it. No caísteis. Pip versus peep. All right, let's see. German says she always gives me the pip with her sudden peep. There you go. As long as you don't pronounce them the same, I'm happy. Ladies and gentlemen, also Elena taking a stab at today's very tricky Say What soundbite, and it looks great. Nice job, Elena. All right, folks, it's time to move on to Wacky World Records.
Wacky World Records. These are the wackiest records in the whole wide world.
Oh, God, please, come on. Excuse you? Come on. Oh, gross, man. Stop belching. Now, I know you might know the word burp, right? De hecho, es onomatopeico. Burp. B-U-R-P. Se pronuncia más como B-E-R-P. But we can also say to belch, to burp, or to belch. So why did I just play that sound effect? Well, just to get your attention. Did I get your attention? Okay. No, seriously, there is a reason. All right, well, we're looking at wacky world records here, right? Okay, well, the loudest female burp. Wow, look at that. The loudest female burp or belch. If you didn't know that word, now you do. Se escribe B-E-L-C-H. Y burp is B-U-R-P. Okay? All right, well, a woman from Maryland. We don't say Maryland, aunque viene de ahí, Queen Mary, ¿no? La tierra de Queen Mary. Pero cuando ya lo decimos, it's Maryland, right? I've been to Maryland. It's really, in fact, if you go to Washington, D.C., normally you stay in Maryland, right? There are more hotels and better options in Maryland. So a Maryland woman named Kimberly Kimmy-Cola. Now we know where she gets her burps from. Kimmy-Cola. Yeah, well, if you drink soft drinks, you're going to burp. And her name, her nickname, Kimmy Cola. Well, she belted out. To belt out is soltar. Woo! She belted out a belch. Look at that tongue twister. She belted out a belch that was measured at 107 decibels. Now, 107 decibels, just to give you an idea, is about as loud as a motorcycle at full throttle. That's right, at full throttle. That's pretty crazy. Okay, full throttle is a todo gas. Okay, and just to give you an idea here, 20 decibels is a whisper. 40 decibels is rain. 60 decibels is a normal conversation. Well, no, in Spain, I would say 80 decibels. All right, I'm just joking. 60 decibels is a normal conversation. 80 decibels is a loud radio. 100 decibels is a subway train. 120 decibels is a concert. And 140 is fireworks. Okay, so just to give you an idea. Well, at 107 decibels, that was her first belch, and she broke her own record. Again, it's a motorcycle at full throttle. And you and I both know you're sitting in your house and somebody opens up the throttle on a motorcycle and you'll hear it, right? So that's really loud. You know, that sound over there, 107. Well, she decided to try and break her own record, and she did. All right. And well, she decided to drink coffee and beer with her breakfast. Okay, now I get it. She wasn't trying to break any record here. She just wanted to have an excuse to have beer for breakfast. I get it, Kimmy Cola. And she was training. Imagínate entrenando. What are you doing? Why are you drinking so much beer? I'm training. I want to break my own record here. All right. So 107 decibels. And well, she was able to get up to 110 decibels, which that does not break the male record. In fact, the male record is 112. So she was just 2 decibels short of beating the male record, el de hombre. Right. So, but still 107 decibels. I mean, I've let out some loud burps in my life, but this woman, yeah, she was training. As I said, she had coffee, which coffee doesn't really make me burp too much. You know, I get the beer thing. Beer makes me burp and, well, do other things as well. It expels air from everywhere. And yeah, so the day she attempted to break that record, she had a big breakfast with coffee and beer. And I guess they measured it because, you know, Guinness World Records, they don't take your word for it. No es que te tomen la palabra. What they do is they send somebody over there to measure or to gauge. Cuidado, porque he oído mucha gente decir measure. It's not measure, it's measure. Or to gauge, que se escribe gauge. It's a weird word, porque se pronuncia gauge. And she did it, and she has the loudest female burp. And our winner for that is a Maryland woman with an appropriate nickname, Kimmy Cola. Let's see. Chris says, yeah, you caught our attention. Well, it wasn't me. It was Kimmy Cola. And she says, I wonder what this woman's stomach is like. Well, now it's fine, right? Like I taught my daughter when she burps or farts. She goes, oops, excuse me. I go, better out than in, honey. Mejor fuera que dentro. And Elena says, poor husband of hers. Well, you know what? The irony of the story would be if her husband had the record for the loudest male burp. But no, it doesn't give you that information. But that would be a gaseous family. All right, my amigos, it's time to move on to today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. All right, folks, welcome to our Spelling Bee. Now, as always, round one is not for the faint of heart. No es apto para cardíacos. I'm telling you because I am going to fly through it. I always say in round one, I go at Usain Bolt speed. Velocidad Usain Bolt. We say Usain Bolt. All right, so good luck. If not, don't worry, because you will get a second chance where I'll slow down. I won't go slow, but I will slow down. All right, the first one is GULLIVER space TRAVELS. The second one is JONATHAN space SWIFT. The third one is LILLIPUT. The fourth one is BLEFUSCU. The fifth one, BROBDINGNAG. And the last one is LAPUTA. You're going to laugh at that last one. Oh, in Spanish, that last one has a different ring to it. Suena un poco diferente. Ese último en español. All right. Let's see if anybody got it on the first go. I'll give you another 10, 20 seconds to see if anybody was able to jot that down. Now, if you were able to jot it down, geez, I don't think I could. So you are a notch above me. Okay, a notch. Well, I'm telling you, it's not because of the language. I'm just not that fast. All right, going once. Going. Oh, hang on. We might have a winner on our hands. Let's take a look. It's Born to Iron Man. We know he's fast, but is he accurate? I think so. Let's see. The first one is correct. The second one is correct. The third one's correct. The fourth one's correct. Oh boy, here we go. The fifth one is also correct. And ladies and gentlemen, he got the sixth one as well. Excellent. Born to Iron Man, you were swift. Do you know this word? Well, I know you know Taylor Swift. Is that her name? Tyler? Siempre me equivoco. Taylor Swift, Tyler Swift, whatever. Swift es veloz, right? So that was accurate and swift. Excellent job. Born to Iron Man. All right, let's see if your fellow students can join you in round two. Now, round two, again, I'm not going to go slow because I can't. It's not in me. So I'm going to go slower, but not slow by any means. All right, here we go. The first one is GULLIVER space TRAVELS. The second one is JONATHAN space SWIFT. The third one, LILLIPUT. The fourth one, BLEFUSCU. The fifth one is BROBDINGNAG. And the sixth and funniest one is LAPUTA. That is round two of your Spelling Bee, amigos. We have got to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we have got a lot of stuff to cover in the fourth and final part of today's show. We're going to do our double trouble. We will listen to our Say What soundbite to see if anybody else can get it with Elena. Also, we'll check your spelling bee answers and see what all these words were, what they had to do with. Plus, we've got movies, jokes, famous birthdays, and so much more still to come. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Stick around. Hey amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show. A quick reminder, you got special deals going on right now here at Vaughn. That's right. You've got a 60% discount on, let me look for the email here. Here it is. 60% discount on the Curso de Inglés online. You can get it for $39.60, menos de 40 euros. Usually it's $99. That's right, $99. It's a 60% discount, but don't sleep on it. No lo consultes con la almohada. It'll only last till Halloween, October 31st, 2025. So don't hesitate. No dudes. Also, you've got the Curso de Inglés Online Advanced. Usually 350 euros. Now, only 140 euros. If you sign up for the Vaughn newsletter or you follow us on social media, you'll have all this in your inbox or your timeline. So follow along or sign up for our newsletter if you don't use social media. I know many people who stopped using social media. All right, folks. We're going to kick things off right now with our double trouble. Come on.
Double trouble, baby.
Give it up.
Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up.
Double
trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
All right, folks, welcome to our double trouble here on the show with no name. I hope it doesn't give you too much trouble. All right, let's see. This is actually, as I look at it, it's really two idiomatic expressions. Well, it makes it a little bit tougher. Why? Because sometimes it's like the literal usage of the word and then an idiomatic expression. You know, like he took an English course and he really enjoyed it. It's par for the course, right? He took a Vaughn English course and he enjoyed it. So it's par for the course. Es lo que tiene apuntarte para un curso Vaughan. But in this case, there's no literal one here. So you got to think two idiomatic expressions. All right. I looked this one up porque no lo sabía en español. Bueno, I kind of had an idea, but I like to confirm Because sometimes, I want to make sure what I think it is what it really is. So, se ha dejado. Él o ella, you can choose whoever you want. Se ha dejado o se ha ido al garete. Okay? Okay. A ver, let me look at what they say in English, another way to say it. In English. Okay, here it is. To decline, to deteriorate. Okay, it also says abandonarse. Se ha abandonado. Se ha dejado. Se ha ido al garete. Also, it says echar a pique o a pique. I don't know that one. Well, either way, I'll give you a few ways to say it. Okay, somebody has let themselves go. That would be another. No, dejarse. Same. You let yourself go, man. You used to be thin. Now you've got bags under your eyes. You gained weight. That's dejado. Okay. I've heard you say, él es un dejado. Okay. Well, se ha dejado, se ha ido al garete, se ha abandonado a sí mismo. Ahora no tiene dinero, no tiene ni un duro, no tiene recursos. Tough one here. I warned you. So, se ha dejado, se ha ido al garete, ¿no? Se ha abandonado a sí mismo y ahora no tiene ni un duro, no tiene ningún recurso, no tiene nada, to put it in the vernacular. All right. All right. Well, while you guys are thinking that through, let me give you the Say What soundbite. Here it is for the fourth and final time.
Do you believe in UFOs, astral projections, mental telepathy, ESP, clairvoyance, spirit photography, telekinetic movement, full trance mediums, the Loch Ness Monster, and the theory of Atlantis?
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, folks. If you want information about our masters, our one-to-one courses, our flex courses, group courses, we even have Disney Vaughn English on the weekend for the kids. So whatever you're looking for, we've got it. And if not, let us know. In fact, a lot of ideas have come from students saying, ¿no tenéis un material de tal? And then, of course, our team says, oh, es verdad. Oh, wow. And if it's a worthy idea, we'll do it. Again, if we think it's something useful that we don't have, in fact, Richard will be the first one to tell you that. You know how this radio started? Somebody said to Richard, hey, man, you should do those classes on the radio. You reach more people and it works because, you have a presentational style and, you jump off the page. To jump off the page is que destacas, right? You just resaltas, no? You jump off the page. Great idiomatic expression there. So if we don't have something you're looking for, whether it's a course or materials, let us know. We'll look into it. Lo investigaremos. And if it's worth doing, we'll do it. Definitely. We're that kind of company. A lot of companies like, nope, no, we're not going to do anything. And this company's like, wait, okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it. In fact, Richard Vaughn, I think his favorite word is yes. Yes, let's try it. Yeah. And that's not very common these days. It's more now, oh, we don't know if we've got money. We can't take any risks. I mean, just look at Hollywood. Hollywood hasn't taken a risk as an industry in maybe a decade now. Everything is like a remake of a remake. Everything is, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love, superheroes, but they're making me hate them. Yeah, keep doing the same shit, and in the end, you'll definitely make me hate superheroes and people in capes, All right, let's see what we've got over here. All right, we've got a few winners in today's spelling bee. Let's give it up for Born to Iron Man, Chris Valrol, and Elena. Now, all of these words had to do with Gulliver's Travels. You say Gulliver? We say Gulliver. Gulliver's Travels. So number 1 in our spelling bee was Gulliver's Travels. Number 2 was Jonathan Swift. That is the guy who wrote it, the author. See, I was trying to give you a little clue. Una indirecta, I said, wow, you were very swift. Pues es el apellido de este tío. So Jonathan Swift. And number 3, 4, 5, and 6 were the fictional lands in the book. The first one, Lilliput, and the other land, Blefuscu. Okay, they're nonsensical names, but again, it's fiction, right? Non-fiction es que es de verdad, and fiction es inventado. So Lilliput and Blefuscu. Number 5 was Brobdingnag. I don't even know how to say that one, which is one of the lands as well. And the last one, my favorite. What did you guys do when you had to read this in school? How could you keep your calm? The teacher said, okay, ¿quién quiere leer el capítulo de la puta? And you're like, what? La puta? That's what it's called, la puta. Es una palabra, but it's called la puta. And it is a flying island, which was described in Gulliver's Travels. And can you believe it? Are you ready for this? The book was published, okay, today in 1726. And it's still part of the canon, the English-speaking canon, la colección. All right, let's see what we've got over here in today's Double Trouble. Chris says the first round is Born to Iron Man's speed. Well, Chris, don't sell yourself short. Okay, no te infravalores, no te vendes por menos de lo que vales. Don't sell yourself short, because sometimes you get it on the first go too, right? So again, some days you do, some days you don't, but a lot of times you're right there on his heels. Okay, so don't again, the perfect way to say it, don't sell yourself short. Let's see. Elena says, I definitely need 2 goes. I'm a slowpoke. My daughter loves that word because I always say, come on, slowpoke. Lenta tortuga. I call her slowpoke. And Elena, guess what? I would need a second round too. And again, not because of the language, because I'm just not that fast as a person. And the older I get, the slower I get. That's just gravity. I'm defying gravity. Sorry, I can't get wicked out of my head. Let's see. German is taking a stab at today's Double Trouble, and he's usually pretty creative here. Let's see. He's gone belly up. His economy is belly up. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give it to you. It's not the one I've got here. To go belly up, quedarse patas arriba, quedar en la lona. I didn't know it. All right, I like it. It's a good one. It's definitely creative. So to go belly up, piénsalo, if you're belly up, you're dead, right? Patas arriba. You say legs up, we say belly up. Same thing. To go belly up. Great job, German. Let's see. Cristina says, he drained away. Now he went down the drain. Chris, I love it. The first one, though, doesn't make sense as much. But that second one, to go down the drain, to go down the tubes, irse por el garete. So excellent. I like the fact that you knew that second expression there. But the first one is a little bit off there. Let's see. Elena, he went to pot because he doesn't have a pot to piss. Te voy a poner la última preposición ahí. Lo tienes, Elena. He went to pot because he doesn't have a pot to piss in. Dios. Wow. Wow, Elena. That's it. Yeah, te faltaba el in al final. So to go to pot. Yeah. What happened to Johnny? He went to pot. Se dejó. ¿no? Dejó de cuidarse, se fue al garete. He went to pot. And now he doesn't have a pot to piss in. When somebody doesn't have money, resources, they're broke is a joke. Another way to say it. You say, man, me? I'm going to go? How am I going to go on vacation? I don't have a pot to piss in. No tengo ni una olla en que mear. Hey, it's a funny expression. So the two expressions are to go to pot. So en pasado, he went to pot. Se dejó, right? And I don't have a pot to piss in means no tengo nada. No tengo dinero, recursos, cero. So excellent job. Wow, all of you. Wonderful effort. Wonderful effort. All right, it's time to go to the movies. Name that movie. Yeah. All right, folks, we are going to the movies. And thank God we've got all the classic movies here because Hollywood has given us jack shit lately. Cero patatero. Jack shit. Si no queremos ser vulgares, we could say jack squat, which means nada en absoluto. All right, but thankfully there are movies from back in the day. In fact, today's Say What soundbite is from one of the greatest movies ever. Yeah. All right, let's see then. Let's see if you know today's movie. Okay, let me get it over here. This is a movie that came out in 1996, and let's see what we've got here. Lieutenant Commander Tom Dodge is assigned as captain to the USS Stingray, an old diesel-driven submarine that has seen better days. I guess the submarine has gone to pot. Yeah, se ha ido al garete, ya no es lo que era. Okay, so Lieutenant es teniente, if I'm not mistaken. Lieutenant Commander Tom Dodge, Tom Esquivar, is assigned, apuntado, as captain to the USS Stingray. You know what a stingray is? I'll tell you another way to say it. A manta ray. ¿Te suena? Mantarraya, manta ray. You can say manta ray or stingray. An old diesel, you say diesel, we say diesel, driven submarine. You say submarino, we say sub. O sea, parecido, pero cambia la pronunciación. An old diesel-driven submarine that has seen better days. Y eso es otra expresión que significa que ha visto mejores días, que no está en su mejor momento, está pasado. Okay, desfasado, I think, would be another way to say that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. It's Chris Valrol, our movie buff. She also got today's Say What soundbite. So congrats, Elena and Chris, on the Say What soundbite. The movie is called Down Periscope, and it's a movie, again, that came out in 1996. It stars Kelsey Grammer and Lauren Acebo. Yeah, Lauren Holly. Okay, not holy. Holy, sagrada es con una L. Holly es con dos L's, como Hollywood. Madera de acebo would be the literal name, the literal translation of Hollywood. All right, let's take a look at the scene. Stepanek says, sit on it and rotate, sir. Now, this is normally what we say when you stick up your middle finger, when you flip the bird. El dedo del medio, right? Now, a more succinct way to say it is sit and spin. Sit and spin. Okay, es como siéntate aquí y date una vuelta. Okay, it's like que te den. Translation, que te den. And the executive officer says, what? What did you say, sailor? You can't say that. And he turns to Dodge, se gira, se dirige a él, and he says, he can't say that. No puede decir eso. And he says, Pascal, down, down, heel. Like he's talking to a dog, right? Heel is I always forget that word, tacón. But if we say it to a dog, it's al pie, right? Follow, heel, heel. So he's talking like he's talking to a dog. And Stepanek says, by the uniform code of military justice that constitutes gross insubordination, punishable by 1 month in a brig, I'm ready to go, sir. So obviously, he's trying to get thrown out. Now, a brig is celda, calabozo, usually on a ship, right? In a military or Navy setting. So he's saying, he goes, well, according to what I just did, I guess I'm going to go down to the brig for a month because he doesn't want to be there. He goes, I'm ready to go, sir. Mándame. Mi castigo. And Lieutenant Commander Dodge says, board the boat. Embarca en la nave. I like a challenge. No, me gusta un desafío. Kind of like you guys. And Stepanek says, you'll throw me off within a week. Me vas a echar dentro de una semana. I'm a dedicated pain in the butt, sir. And Lieutenant Commander says, Stepanek? And he says, what? He goes, oh, if I throw you off, it'll be in the middle of the Atlantic. Board the damn boat. There you go, folks. It's Down Periscope, a comedy that came out when I was just a little youngster. All right, it is time now for famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the first person was born today in 1963. Her last name is Acebo. Okay. I just said it. She was in Down Periscope. She was also in Dumb and Dumber. You say, dos tontos muy tontos. She played Bruce Lee's wife in Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. She was also in What Women Want and Beautiful Girls, and a very talented actress who was born today in 1963. Number two, this guy was born in 1936, an American singer, songwriter, and fiddle player. Now, he talks a lot different than I do, and, well, he is very famous down in, in all of the United States, but more specifically down south. And, well, he's got that number one country hit, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. The Devil Went Down to Georgia. El demonio se fue a Georgia. And last but not least, her last name is the word we looked at in today's Double Trouble, to go to not have a to piss in. That's her name. And, well, she was born today in 1952. She was in Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, Pretty in Pink, Jumpin' Jack Flash. Also, she did the voice of Bo Peep in the Toy Story franchise. Hey, we looked at the word peep in today's homophones. It's not pronounced the same as Pip, right? So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are your three famous birthdays. I'll give them to you because if not, we are going to run out of time here. Number one, Lauren Holly. Number three, Charlie Daniels. And number three, Annie Potts. She was the receptionist in Ghostbusters. Oh, man, she is awesome. And also, Chris Van Rol, good job. You got him. She says, also, my cousin Eugenia, it's her birthday. She's not famous. She's famous in our book. En cuanto a nosotros, es famosa. So happy birthday, Eugenia, Christina's cousin. We hope you have an awesome day. And now she knows she shares a birthday with Lauren Holly, Charlie Daniels, and Annie Potts. And that's going to bring us to our Say What soundbite. This is Annie Potts in Ghostbusters. And she's interviewing, I forget the guy's name, the black guy. And she's interviewing him. And she says, do you believe in UFO? She just says it nonchalant, sin darle mucho énfasis, mucha importancia. She says, do you believe in UFOs? We don't say UFO, we say UFOs. Astral projections, mental telepathy, ESP, clairvoyance, spirit photography, telekinetic movement, full trance mediums, ¿no? De estar en un trance, the Loch Ness Monster, el monstruo de Lago Ness, the Loch Ness Monster, and the theory of Atlantis. And the funny part is the line he says after, he goes, I believe in anything as long as it comes with a paycheck. O sea, he's looking for work. He goes, siempre que viene con una nómina, con un pago, pues yo creo lo que tú quieras. All right, so here it is, a scene from, you guessed it, Ghostbusters. Here's birthday girl Annie Potts.
Do you believe in UFOs, astral projections, mental telepathy, ESP, clairvoyance, spirit photography, telekinetic movement, full trance mediums, the Loch Ness Monster, and the theory of Atlantis?
All right, folks. Awesome job. Excellent job. As always, thank you for all your participation and for all your energy. We're going to say goodbye with the birthday boy, Charlie Daniels, and his country hit, The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Yeehaw! Come on. Let's go. Sing it. And if you don't know the words, look them up. The devil went down to Georgia.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind